Welcome to my August 2017 garden tour. This is my new gardening companion, Phoebe. She's a chocolate labradoodle. We just got her a couple days ago, and she's only 9 weeks old, and being in the garden with mommy is one of her favorite places to be, as you can imagine. It's harvest season. There's lots of cool stuff happening in the garden. I'm so excited to show you guys, and I think Phoebe's really excited too. We have tomato problems galore, but what else is new? Lots of peppers coming in, cucumbers, and regardless of the tomato problems, we still have lots of those too. Phoebe is really excited to get started with the tour, so why don't we get going? All right, I'll see you guys there. Where should we start, Phoebe? With the tomatoes? Good idea. This is my main tomato bed, and as you can see, it's rapidly deteriorating. We have some kind of a wilt disease that was setting in the last time, and now you can see how much it's progressed in about a month. We do have some stuff to harvest, so that's really fun. These are black zebra tomatoes, and they're one of my favorites because they're nice and small, and they look a little bit on the green side, but they're actually pretty ripe. This one's split. That's a bummer. I hate when this happens. This happens from too much rain. We've had a lot of rain here recently, and it causes the ripening tomatoes to kind of swell up, and then they split, and then they start to get a little moldy, and it sucks. And we have another one. Whoop, right there. That's a good looking one. Now this is the first tomato to ripen on this plant. This is a Brandywine OTV. It stands for on the vine. I'm hoping if I pick this one, it'll help the rest ripen a little bit quicker. There we go. I have not grown this variety before, so I'm really excited to taste it. Here we have a Kellogg's Breakfast. This ripens to a really nice orange hue. I'm gonna pick this one again because I want the others to start ripening, and this will usually help facilitate that. So I have grown this variety before, and it is so delicious. It's one of my all-time favorites. Would you agree with that, Phoebe? I think so. Back here we have a Cherokee Purple. I see one lurking up there. I've harvested tons of these already, and this plant's dying pretty quickly, so I'm not sure how many more we're gonna get, but let's see. Kind of a funky looking one, but cool. We'll throw those in. Phoebe's very curious, but I don't think she's gonna eat any. We'll see. She will lick them though, I guess. All right. This is Aunt Ruby's German Green, one of my favorite varieties, one that's dying a really fast death. But you can usually tell when they're ripe because they're a little soft to the touch. Oh no, this one's super split too. You can tell when it's ripe because it starts to get this sort of pink blush around the outside, and it's a shame this one's split. I'm super bummed about that. I was looking forward to that one for a long time, but oh well. So here's another fall bed that I started. I had lots of garlic in here earlier and zucchini, and I've planted some carrots that are just starting to sprout up, and in the back I have some radishes and Brussels sprouts. And then let's harvest some peppers. These are my Haloro pepper. And I always wait until they start to blush a little bit. I like my peppers a little bit on the riper side. They have a really cool neon orange hue when they're ripe. Phoebe, no. Phoebe, leave it. Oh, what puppy. Here's a nice orange one down here. You of course don't have to wait until they're orange, but I like them a little better that way. So you can see all of these serranos that are ready to be harvested. Got a couple red ones back here. And you can also see when you get those ridges, that means it's ripe. Well, not ripe, but that means that it's ready for picking. These are shishito peppers. You typically would eat these green, but I'm gonna, pick what I can. And harvesting is gonna take forever, so I'm gonna do most of this after I turn the camera off. But I wanna show you these, I think it's called Trinidad Perfume. And they're sort of like a habanero, only without the crazy heat. And they turn this really awesome yellow color. See? And they have this cool bell shape. I love these. They're very similar to the ají dulce, which is another pepper that I grow. You can see this one, it turns kind of orange, and that looks like a habanero, but I promise you it's not super spicy, which is awesome. Here you can see the eggplant. We've had lots of eggplant so far this year. It's definitely my best year growing eggplant ever. So that's really cool. And this one definitely looks ready to harvest. It's nice and big, but I don't have any intentions of cooking it yet. So I'm gonna let it go a little longer and see what it does. You guys, we've been getting so many freaking cucumbers this year. It's been out of control. I've never had this many cucumbers. This one's a lot bigger than I like them to be. Wow, look at that, it's huge. And there's another perfect one right behind it. I like to just twist till it comes out. Nice. So here in this bed we have beets and carrots, and in the back I've planted some Brussels sprouts. The beets have been awesome. We had a really good harvest like a week ago. I pulled most of these out, and I had actually planted more seeds underneath and kind of around where the old ones were, and those are just starting to emerge now. Carrots I planted around the same time as I planted the first crop of beets. This one looks pretty big already. Yeah, we have a little carrot on there. It might be a little too hot for these guys right now. I'm not even sure. Back here, the Brussels sprouts are getting eaten. What else is new? I've been trying to get control of my cabbage moth problem. Now here in my herb garden, my lemon verbena is huge and definitely ready to be cut down. My parsley is doing really well. We've got tarragon hiding back here, rosemary trying to peek through. Then I've got more sage back here, and my basils, which are nearing the end of their season. I mean, this one I haven't been maintaining too well, but the other ones are still doing just fine. This arugula jungle definitely needs to get ripped out soon. I can plant all kinds of cool stuff here for the fall that I need to get a jump on ASAP. And this is my little sunflower. So pretty. That was a volunteer. Now over here I have kale. This had come back from the previous year, and it's just kind of doing its thing over here. I've had a little problem with aphids and little Phoebe dogs. And over here we have new arugula coming up and some broccoli rabe that I recently planted. Celery, I planted this in the early summer and it's doing really well. It's very thin and stringy and leafy, but the flavor's really good. Chives are still crushing it. I did plant some green beans finally. I neglected to plant them all summer long. My tomatillos are doing great. Lots of the pineapple tomatillos coming in. Then I have a cucumber. This is a curvy cucumber. I planted it kind of late in the season. I haven't gotten anything from it. It's not doing a ton, but it just is there for the hell of it. And then I have more beans that are starting to come up. And over here I have more tomato plants, but these tomato plants are doing really well. They're not dying. They're full of fruit. My sun golds, my sun sugar hybrid are doing amazing. We're getting so many of these right now, and they're so delicious. I just pop them into my mouth like candy. Now this is the enormous tomato I've been really excited about harvesting. I think I need to cut this off with scissors. I don't want to ruin this whole, so you can see there's more tomatoes coming in, so I don't want to risk losing this whole branch, so I'm gonna wait. There's a couple more red ones on here that we're gonna cut down. Now over here I also planted some peas, so hopefully we'll get a fall crop of peas because I did not get my spring peas. And then this is a pineapple tomato. This one on the bottom is starting to turn. Yep, this one's definitely starting to get a little soft. Over here we've got our herbs, some rosemary, and then back here the Swiss chard and kale. Right now it's really just about managing those pesky cabbage worms. They show up like crazy. See that white butterfly? Yep, that's the culprit. Lays the eggs, then the worms come and they eat all my greens. My nasturtium still won't do anything, and Phoebe has been an incredible helper today. Phoebe, good girl. Well, this was definitely the most fun garden tour that I've ever done before. I have to say, even with all of the crap happening with my tomatoes and the cabbage worms and everything else, this has been an amazing gardening season. I'm super happy with my harvest, and I'm super happy with my puppy. I hope I have a really great fall garden to show you guys this year. I usually drop the ball on it and never get anything planted, but I was really good about it this year, and hopefully we'll have some Brussels sprouts and some beets and some carrots and some other greens and peas and green beans to show for it. I'm definitely gonna be back in September. Phoebe's gonna be back with me, so stay tuned for that. I'll show you exactly what's happening just about a month from now. And leave me a comment, let me know how you like this tour, let me know what's happening in your garden. Definitely let me know if you have any suggestions on my tomatoes, and I will see you guys next time. Say bye, Phoebes. Bye. Good girl, good girl.